One of the commonest questions I'm asked when dealing with a dog with behavioural issues is, why is my dog doing this? When I start to explain that there are commonly recognised triggers to displays of both appropriate and inappropriate behaviour, it sometimes becomes apparent that this is not the answer the owners are looking for. They don't want to know why dogs in general display inappropriate behaviours, but why their dog displays inappropriate behaviours to them. They believe because they love their dog, provide everything that the dog needs and give it a safe and secure environment to live in, there's obviously something wrong with the dog. This is simply a basic misunderstanding of how a dog thinks, how it learns, and how it can start to develop inappropriate behaviours. Because what's extremely important to understand is that dogs don't do anything wrong. They simply do what a great many dogs would do in similar circumstances if they haven't been taught not to do it. Dogs don't automatically know what they should and shouldn't do in a human-controlled environment. They're dogs. They only understand canine behaviour. If you want them to fit seamlessly into your lifestyle, you have to teach them how to do it. And unfortunately, this is going to take more than Google or just a few trips to a training school. Remember, the less you do and the longer you leave it, the more difficult it'll be to teach your dog how to behave. Teaching it how to behave will ensure it becomes a valued family member and not a constant nuisance. If you haven't taught your dog what to do, you can't complain when the dog doesn't do it. Now, this problem is greater with the owner that's had dogs in the past and has never experienced problem behaviours. The simple fact is that lots of owners take credit for their dog's behaviour, if it's a good dog, not realising that the dog would probably have been a good dog irrespective of who owned it. Just because you've had dogs in the past and never had any problems doesn't mean that you won't have problems in the future if you acquire another dog. Before purchasing a dog, potential owners have to realise that there is a distinct possibility they'll experience behavioural issues at some level. This is just a dog being a dog. Okay, so let's look at the most common triggers for displays of inappropriate behaviour, and over the next few weeks I'm going to be discussing them individually. So we have genetics, hormones, critical development period, learned behaviour, stress and fear, physiological issues, and psychological resilience. So let's start with genetics. Genetics is the study of heredity and how inherited characteristics can significantly influence behaviour. This is extremely important when choosing a dog because all dogs come with inherited traits that have been modified and developed over many hundreds of years. For example, collies are bred to herd sheep, so their ability to herd has been modified from their ability to chase. This is why some collies wish to chase anything that moves: cars, bikes, skateboards, joggers, etc. German Shepherds are the ultimate guard dog and the most popular service dog in the world. They were specifically created for this purpose. The traits that make a good guard dog are a highly developed suspicious nature. Therefore, any new noise, sight, sound or circumstance can cause a display of reactivity from the dog. This would commonly include barking and perhaps lunging at people or other dogs. Terriers were originally bred to kill vermin and as such needed to have a higher than normal prey drive. This could cause problems if they come across other animals that they may consider to be prey items. Some terriers can also be highly reactive and aggressive towards other dogs or people due to the previously mentioned level of prey drive, which in part is driven by aggression. Hunting breeds, in which I include spaniels, hounds and retrievers, have been extensively modified over the years to display certain behaviours. Spaniels are used to flush game, hounds to chase game and retrievers to retrieve game. Spaniels, while off the lead, may simply disappear into the bushes, long grass or woods to find and flush game. Sight hounds may be inclined to chase anything that they see moving quickly across the ground, and scent hounds may wander off, following any random scent. Finally, some retrievers are more than happy to pick anything up and carry it about. This could turn into the dog starting to chew and swallow the object, which can result in extremely costly vet bills. Transportation dogs are dogs that are generally used to pull sleds or carts. These are commonly Huskies, Malamuts, Eskimo dog, Greenland dog and similar breeds. These dogs have been modified to do one thing, and that's to pull loads over significant distances over extended periods of time. The issue with these dogs is that they can be inclined to simply wander off and could potentially cover great distances during that process. There are over 400 breeds of dogs around the world, and every breed has been genetically modified and intensively bred to perform specific tasks. These tasks are known as inherited breed characteristics. Even crossbreeds have inherited traits dependent on the breeds that have been used in their pairing. Every dog, irrespective of breed, has inherited breed characteristics at some level. They come into our lives with a bag containing these traits. Some dogs have very few traits in their bag and as such make the perfect pet, irrespective of breed. Some dogs have a bag which is half full of these traits and as such will need some work to enable the owner to start to manage these inherited behaviours. Finally, certain dogs have a bag which is crammed full of individual breed characteristics at an extremely high level. These dogs will require a vast amount of work to manage their individual traits and will probably not make particularly good pets. Genetics plays an integral part in a dog's behaviour and as such must be recognised as a potential pathway to problematic behaviour. Now if you own a collie or a German Shepherd or any of the other guarding or herding breeds or any of the hunting or transportation breeds and they're not causing you any problems, that's brilliant. I'm not saying all dogs cause problems. What I'm simply saying is that some dogs are more inclined to display what they've been genetically bred for than others. Next time we'll talk about the potential problems associated with hormones.